yesterday was the feast day of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Today is the feast day of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. And it literally brought tears to my eyes because it reminded me that what we're talking about is moving from that head space, which is good, there's nothing wrong with our minds, but what we're learning is to allow the mind to sink into our hearts. And several years ago, Ralph, my buddy here, who is an artist, I asked him, I said, could you draw for me the shape of a heart that speaks to you? And I was leaving my den this morning after my prayer time on the way here, and this caught my eye, and I thought, I'm going to bring that. It was a God nudge, because it's really about opening our hearts to the divine spirit within us, our sacred hearts that we'll talk about. That, there's the Sacred Heart of Jesus, which is wonderful. There's pictures of the Sacred Heart of Jesus where he's pointing to, his heart. There's the Immaculate Heart of Mary we're celebrating, and we see these pictures. But each one of us also has a sacred heart. And science and math are teaching us, or science and spirituality are teaching us, that's the center of our being. That's the operative place within us where our mind, our emotions, our body, and our spirits flow through our heart space. And that's that umbilical cord to God. So I thought that was interesting. And if anybody's interested, Ralph is an amazing artist, and he can draw you a picture like this too if you would like. So grab him, and you can grab one of his cards to do that. But I just thought that's kind of like a God surprise that the Sacred Heart of Jesus yesterday, the masculine energy, and then today the feminine energy of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. It's like, wow, God, you couldn't have planned this better for us, basically. So to recap what we learned last night, one of the things that we talked about was that the finding flow, these 4 spiritual practices that we'll talk about, the solitude, the spiritual reading, the community, and the contemplative action, the spiritual gifts, they're kind of like a concept. They're like a container. If you think of a big water jar, they're what we pour the water into, this life-giving water that Jesus gives us. So that's the concept that we then do the second piece, which is the spiritual practices. And if you think about it, to keep our bodies strong, we exercise. We watch our diet, we go for bike rides, we walk in the outside, we go to the gym perhaps. We do things for our physical body. And the spiritual practices are the things that care for our soul. They're like the physical exercise we do, but the more we develop these spiritual practices that speak to us, they're what are the care for the soul, as Thomas More would say, and Merton would say. They draw us into this inner awareness of ourselves and God within us, basically. So the idea being today, as we go deeper, we're going to look at and experience some of these deeper spiritual practices. And the idea is kind of like Goldilocks and the 3 bears. We're going to experience some of them, and we'll go, oh, this one's too strong. This one doesn't resonate with me. This one's okay, but oh no, this one's just right. And so the idea being, as we experience different practices, and there's a whole smorgasbord of them, we're going to taste some of them. And the idea being, what do you want to integrate into your personal spiritual practice life? What works for you? And also share if there's others that we don't go through it. Let's make this conversational. So feel free to make this a conversation or a small enough group that we can go talk about what is working with you or other ideas that you have.